I told you that most people in your life, your children, your nieces and nephews, your colleagues, your community, were doomed to underachieve? Not because the world was against them, but because you did not show up fully. What if I told you that they had two choices in life? They could choose left, stay comfortable, stay safe, and stay exactly where they are, satisfied with mediocrity. Or they could choose right, step outside the box, take risks, push boundaries, and reach levels that most people only dream about. Here's an uncomfortable truth. The reason most people choose left isn't because of circumstance. It's conditioning. Self-limiting beliefs that we have passed down, modeled, and silently reinforced. Those "what if it doesn't work out" thoughts are contagious. And science actually backs this up. Research shows that our negative thoughts hit way harder than the positive ones. One single thought of self-doubt can drown out up to 10 affirmations. That's our brain's negativity bias at work. Harvard studies even revealed that our thoughts and behaviors spread across our social circles, not just to our friends, but to their friends and to their friends. That's 3 degrees of separation. You want to know how I know this? Because I caught them too. I've spent over 14 years in human resources, helping others grow, watching people get promoted, sitting in rooms surrounded by brilliance on a daily basis. And never once did I believe that I'd be capable of creating something of my own. I've played the game of corporate America. I follow the rules, I check the boxes, I even climb the ladder. And every time the thought of starting a business would cross my mind, that internal voice would whisper, "Who are you to do that?" And I believed it for years. It wasn't until I completed my executive coaching certification where things started to shift. Suddenly, those internal voices and doubts that would tell me to stay safe, play small, and wait your turn shifted to possibilities. Let me be blunt. Most obstacles aren't external. They aren't budgets, bosses, and market conditions. They're those internal, quiet, convincing conversations we have with ourselves that say, "I'm not ready. I can't do this. Someone else is better." Sound familiar? They should. These are the excuses that kill careers, crush confidence, and sabotage communities. And here's the kicker. They're not even real. There's no proof or evidence to support them. They're simply the lies we tell ourselves to avoid discomfort. And when you let those lies dictate your actions, you're not just limiting yourself. You're stunning the growth of everyone who looks to you for inspiration. Your hesitations become their ceiling, and your doubts become their defaults. But here's the thing. You can change this. You can change these patterns. Because the same mind that created the doubt is the same mind that can design the breakthrough. Every failure you've had in life is actually a stepping stone. Every misstep, every restart, every decision that didn't work out sets you on a path forward. It gives you intelligence and perspective, and it sets you at a higher starting point for your next attempt. And that's not just personal growth. That's a growth mindset as a cultural multiplier. When one person acts despite fear, it gives everyone around them permission to act. When you normalize courage, you normalize possibilities. When you embrace learning over perfection, you normalize innovation, trust, and resilience. Close your eyes for a moment. Now think of the last time you hesitated. The last time you allowed fear to hold you back. Now think of someone you care about most. Your family, a mentee, or even your future self. Seeing these hesitations and believing this is how life is supposed to go. That's a lifetime of opportunities stolen in a moment of fear. Now, open your eyes. No, really, open your eyes. Because every decision you make from this point forward deserves clarity, courage, and intent. When you allow fear to drive your actions, or worse, your inaction, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting the next generation. If you remember nothing else, please remember this. Your assignment is greater than your fears. Your purpose is much louder than your doubts. And your ripple effects, yes, yours, are more powerful than any obstacle you will ever encounter. And if you're wondering how to make this shift, I want to share with you the framework that I've used with leaders, teams, and organizations all over the world. My adept framework. You ready? A, awareness. Notice the thoughts and behaviors that are driving your actions. Call them out. D, direction. Decide where you want to go next and set an intention, not just a wish. E, elevate. Take small, consistent steps that set you above your old patterns and behaviors. P, purpose. Reconnect with your why, and often, so that fear doesn't have the final say. And T, transformation. Keep going until you see a shift, not just in yourself, but in the culture around you. This isn't just theory. This is the blueprint that not only enabled me to find the power in my voice, but has allowed me to help hundreds of others find the power in theirs. This is how we move from self-sabotage to shared success. You see, the choice to go left or right was never about direction at all. It was about belief. Belief enough in ourselves to choose the paths that have yet been proven. The truth is, your next level doesn't require your permission. It requires your participation. It requires you. So, every time you choose to be adept, aware, directed, elevated, purposeful, and transformed, you level up. And every time you choose to get out of your own way, you don't just unlock your success. You unlock a legacy. Thank you.